Going on, Joe fans? Centex Collector here with another review. This time for the Cobra Pilot and the Cobra Claw Covert Light Aerial Weapon. This came in today from Hasbro Pulse. This little drone, I've seen somebody 3D print something similar to this on one of the Facebook groups. And then you got the G.I. Joe HQ back there. It'd be cool if they made the drone, but maybe I can find one in 3D print. We'll probably never get that from Classified. Definitely have to be a HasLab, but there is a guy on Etsy who has like the fascia that you could print, which I've been debating on doing. And then just a quick back of the box. I do like the little logo there. This is 152, and this reminds me of the old school packaging where you had the vehicle and you could see the figure. Man, that brings back memories back in the 80s and 90s when you get a vehicle and you could see the figure through the packaging. It's a good sized box. And then, okay, so it's got a little box. They went back to these, a little piece of paper. And then the box itself, that's looking good sized. And here's the figure. There, I love that presentation. And then here's the accessory box. So let's crack into this. So here we go with the Cobra Pilot. They did a really good job on her. Yeah, she looks different than the rest. I'm digging this figure for sure. A lot of the female figures, I'm like, man, whatever. But this one, they did a good job of it. Let's get into the accessories. So I guess they threw in, normally you only get these with retro figures, but they threw in this display stand, which go on my eBay store. Because I have my stands I use on Amazon, which are down in my affiliate links. And then they gave her, this pistol looks familiar. Gave her this pistol with the silencer, suppressor, whatever you wish to call it. So like most pilots, they usually have pistols. A little loose. Yeah, it's a little loose in there. Oh, I guess, can you fit the suppressor in there too? Ooh. Probably not ideal though. Yeah, you could, but it's not ideal to have the suppressor in there. She has nowhere to hold the suppressor. And they gave her some serious, like, weapons or firepower here. Because then you have this Uzi. Looks like it came from Snake Eyes. Which you can throw the suppressor on there, which is definitely better fit. And then you have this thing. I don't think I've seen this before. And it's got this mag, like this drum mag. Figure's a little, yeah, this part's harder than most Classified, but this is a cool little weapon for somebody else for sure. That's some serious firepower for a pilot. She can't even carry that. And then they gave her 3 heads. So they gave her the skin variant here, so that way if you wanted to like put this helmet on her and just have her part of like your troops, because this could be this would have been a good troop building figure. So maybe they'll re-release her separately. So you could do that. And of course you've got your different color skin tone there. And then you've got her, basically I guess you call it like flight head. That head feels so loose on their neck. So that's one I'll probably stick with, because she'll be, I'll probably display her with the claw. So you got that. Maybe it's at the neck. I think it's the neck that's really loose. A little QC issue. It's a super loose neck. So you got that going on. So I'm digging that, the black and the blue and the red tone. And we'll come back to her. Let's jump over to the claw real quick. So I don't have an OG claw, but I do have 25th anniversary claw. So I can see where, I think this came with Cobra Commander, but you can see they took some, I don't know how much this replicated the OG claw. I forget what year that claw came out, but you can see the similarities. But let's actually put this one together first. So it looks like you have these bits here act as exhaust bits if you want to do that. So those two pieces there. I just said bits like I was British. And then it's got 2 missiles. So you've got these 2 tips here. So those just pop on. Boom, boom. Then you've got these 2. I put that on backwards? No. So it's just snap in there and no snap in there. And then I can add the missiles. You got 2 missiles that just pop right in here. Those missiles are very, very gummy. Alright, so now we got that going on. And with that, you've got full rotation on these flaps. So those could flap them up like that. They flap up, flap them down. So yeah, they've got that going on. Same here, flap all the way up, and you flap it down. So there we go. Just look how big. This is 1/18 scale for 4-inch 25th, and here's our 112. Just wow. So yeah, you can see everything there. I guess it's supposed to have 4 missiles. Looks like I'm missing missiles there, but you can see the general gist of spot on. You got that. As I'm looking, the gun here, so they made the gun here. So this gun moves up and down, and then this actually rotates. So man, they did a good job of articulating this thing. And oh, even these little pieces right here rotate. This thing is nuts. It's so little, but there's so much stuff, like playability, so much stuff that moves. You can see here, there's the lower wings there, and then these here, they articulated there. And instead of doing, let's go back to the top, and then you can see this part here to here. Yeah, they did a killer job. And then the propellers or exhaust, or you want to call it propulsion, or you want to call that. And if we flip this over, obviously this just had a backpack hole, so they replaced that for like a whole vest setup. You got your handlebars, and oh yeah, so these, oh, you see that ratcheting sound? Or hear that ratcheting? So these move. That's what this just moved like that. And then this didn't have any wheels, but you can see the general gist of the layout. So instead of having extra missiles, they put wheels, and these wheels, so those move out. But not only do they move out, but they have a whole like rotation up and down. And then same thing here, these will move up, and you can rotate. I don't know why I would need 4 wheels, but There it is on the wheels. So that's interesting. They did that. But again, the wheels are rolling. And the whole thing just... And tuck those down. Tuck those down. It's kind of... Oh, there we go. So these you can then rotate again. Rotate down. And there you go. So that way the wheels are out of the way of each other. There it is tucked in. Yeah, danger stickers. And like I showed you before, we got these flames that you can put on to make it look like it's taken off or whatever. So that's cool. So they put a lot of thought into this little tiny thing. There's a lot of thought that went into it. And then her... Okay, so here you've got, reminds me of the OG or ARA style like belts. You got basically holes there and there, and it's like a belt that would slide into those holes, make it easier to put your figure in there. As you can see, this pistol just slides right out. So that way you can easily get her in. Then you these are now tightened so she stays in place, and she can grab the handlebars. And it's big enough, you can see she's got plenty of room where you could put a bigger figure in there, like a different Cobra male trooper or whoever you want to throw in there. It's got like a ratcheting system, kind of like a zip tie. When you're putting, you can see it there on the belt. It's got a little rivet, so it's like kind of like a zip tie ratcheting system to get it tight in there. So this was really, really thought out. You know, it's a tiny little small, and I don't see why they couldn't do like a polar bear or other small vehicles. This was executed really well, so I'm digging that. And then now back to her. So yeah, she's... I don't see anything comparable to other female figures. Let me just double check. Yeah, so I was thinking probably the Valkyrie. Yeah, that's what it is. It's basically partial repaint of the Valkyrie. You can see the boots are the same. The knee pads are the same. Pants. Different holster. The waist is the same. Yup. Same waist. But the torso, yeah, the upper torso is different because this has a different piece than that. Gloves are the same. And they used, this one looks like it's a removable guard. And the upper arms are different from the Valkyrie. I think that face is the same as the Valkyrie. Yeah, that head sculpt is the same. They probably use the same helmet as well. Yeah, that... Why does this helmet look all like mushed? So yeah, it's basically a partial... Obviously the vest is different. But yeah, it's basically like a partial repaint kit bash from the Valkyrie. Not a horrible thing, but overall this is good figure. You know, typical Hasbro. You know, they're not going to complete something from scratch, which is fine. But I do like the colorway, this black, blue, and red. Looks like those are like flight instructions, some kind of like a wild weasel would have. But yeah, I like this flight helmet. So it's a cool figure. Definitely digging the claw. That'll go up probably on my shelf with my rattler. I figure out how I'm gonna display it. If I want to display it in the air, or how I want to do that yet. But yeah, this is a cool little I don't know what you want to call this, a 2-pack or like a deluxe set. I don't know. But yeah, if you're into nostalgia for sure, because the claw goes back to I forget what year it came out. The claw is cool, and then she's a brand new figure. To Classified, I'm pretty sure the whole G.I. Joe line as well. But definitely, she's a new figure. But yeah, I give it a thumbs up. This is cool little shtick here with the Cobra Claw and the Cobra Pilot. Like, comment, subscribe. JJ out.